Afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting Propagandacast with me, host Imperial Dane, Master Propaganda Hero, like Defender of the Fatherland, wishing there was snow here, because it's not at the moment. The setting is the Eastern Front, 1944, early 1944. The Russians are moving through somewhere in the Baltics, ready to push out the Germans, or at least attempt to. In the West, we've got Talos Prime fighting here for the Soviet Union. There's Stalin. Socialism. Taking on the role of the second Guards Mechanized Corps. And these we got Burmie fighting for the Oberkommando West, Germany, Deutschland fighting here for the Panzergrenadier-Division Nordland, or SS Panzergrenadier-Division Nordland to be specific. Sturmpionier heading northwards, Fortification heading southwards there with the second Fortification squadron away there for Burmie. Conscripts there for Talos Prime with a special rifle command start up here. Strafniki inbound. Possibly some scout cars as well, the M3A1. We got the forces heading southwards there versus the Oberkommando West. It is a common move for many Soviet players to just go for special rifle command for the Penal Troopers, since they tend to work quite well versus both Sturmpioneers and Volksgrenadiers. So we got the first engagement here, Conscript versus Sturmpioneer, as Burmie has it off aggressively for the compartment there, ready to threaten the fuel and the calf point. And at the same time, you can pretty much enter into the building if Talos tries to rush forward. So it's a bit of a sticky situation already in the first few moments of the game. Talos could have rushed it here a bit harder, but of course, once the special rifle command up, he exactly cannot do that. So, a bit of a double bind there. That gets 2 kills from the Sturmpioneers, who aren't effective at range. And though we got forces moving to quickly occupy, the Sturmpioneers will have to retreat, I think, swiftly here. They can maybe grab an extra point there, but ultimately, long term, they need to get the devil out of there. And the South Force is grabbing points here, third squad on the way there for Burmie. Penal Troopers out there for Talos Prime and the 2nd Guards Mechanized Corps. The Nordland Panzer Division was actually the 2nd Scandinavian volunteer unit they sort of created. The first one was actually the 5th SS Panzer Division Viking, but they basically began moving most of those volunteers over towards the 11th. While there was a few still left in the 5th, they were primarily made into a Germanic SS Division, as a fun fact. But for a Panzer Division, the 11th SS was actually surprisingly well equipped, with each regiment actually having a fully armoured Panzer battalion, which was actually really rare even for an elite Panzer Division, so that was only one concession that was made there. It also ended up with a Panther battalion that was more due to ingenuity more than anything. We got Penal Troopers rushing the Volksgrenadiers here, no incendiary grenades, so the Penal Troopers will be able to rush up here and clear out the Volksgrenadiers with those SVT-40 semi-automatic rifles, landing quite an impact here. And there you go, folks, being to bleed out in the face of the higher rate of fire SVT-40s. Up here we got troops moving about, country near standing up, Kholodny on the way there for... No, he actually ends up winning that one. That is a bit of luckier indeed than for Burmie more than anything, since the Penal Troopers in most cases should have won that. They might have taken just a bit more damage than they should have when closing in, but that is pretty good damn lucky there for Burmie. Most, I think, iterations of that engagement would have been won by the Penal Troopers. Sturmpioneers moving up there. Kholodny for that. He's obviously expecting a scout car for Talos. Most also players who go for this kind of build will go for the scout car, because again, the Oberkommando West tends to struggle versus that just as well. And we'll have to go for Kholodny, which you then can struggle countering it, but at a lack of Panzerfaust, that's really the best option. It's either that or actually going for several Sturmpioneer squads, which most players aren't particularly keen on, but it can work out as well, though it's a bit more risk involved. North point there being secured. Back here, troops reinforcing. No medics yet here for Talos Prime. Kholodny being secure, or securing territory. We got the Schwerwehrmacht level out here. Could be a battle group headquarters, could be a mechanized regiment. There's sort of both viable options there for Burmie. And Sandbag's done up there. Sturmpioneer moving in, ready to flush out some Bolsheviks. They have to be careful they don't get flushed out themselves. I know he's quickly going to cover over there. It's a bit late. He needs to get up closer here. Otherwise, at this range, the conscripts actually risk having the upper hand still. Then again, there's a small chance wins up, but never mind. Flamethrower engineers moving in, and at this stage, they're just going to have to retreat pretty soon. The Sturmpioneers do not have the durability to withstand that much. There we go, forced retreat. Forces are coming from the south, but Penal Troopers from the south. We got north, we got the engineers moving in there. That'll be a full retreat, I think, from Burmie as well. You could actually merge a there we go, he merges the conscripts with the engineers, ensuring they don't get wiped out. Trees can just keep burning away. Very good move. Merge is a very good ability when used correctly in these situations. Sometimes it can just mean your flamethrower engineers can keep doing what they want to do, which is burn fascists. In the south here, the Burmese made very good, well, not progress actually, bit of a sticky situation. In fact, as Talos Prime on the other hand went for the calf point, is digging in there with the peons were scored. Very good move there by Talos. Burmie going for the battle group headquarters, healing up. Flak half tracks most likely as well. And MU-34 would also think be quite useful here. So right now Talos Prime is gaining a notable map advantage here of Burmie, and Burmie needs to do something fast to rectify that, otherwise he is going to be in a pretty situation. Sturmpanzer taking losses out in the open from the Sturmpioniere, or not the Sturmpanzer, the penal troopers. Got that one the other wrong way around. And there you go, penal troopers do beat the Sturmpanies, so that was a bit close there. The Sturmpanies assault rifles do pack quite a punch, and there you go, Volkswagen squad moving in. No assault rifles I think here yet for him, that could be wrong, nope. Brandhand Grenade are going to flash out those Strafniki, but he's been cut off from his resource for quite some time there, whereas Talos Prime has been getting an easy, steady fuel flow. So Bem's going to have to work hard after this to sort of push back against Talos Prime. Penal troopers just showing why they are worth that 300 manpower. They just keep applying pressure here to Burmie and the 11th SS Panzergrenadier-Division Nordland, which was actually mostly composed of ethnic Germans from Hungary and the like, since there weren't enough Scandinavian volunteers to make up the units anyways. Little fun fact there as well. Well, that and sort of regular Germans as well. You can use this assaulting like Kednafa, Burmie there trying to extend it aggressively. Nothing further going on in Talos' base yet, they got the medics up. Burmie here can soon go for the flak half track, that's going to help a lot here versus the penal troopers. They got assault rifles up the full, that's going to help a bit there versus the penal troopers, and they do give them overall more DPS at both short, mid and long range. It's basically just a straight up upgrade. Now they go rushing across next against the Volks Grenadiers. Without Molotovs though, the Volks Grenadiers win there, particularly just popping incendiary grenade. Unless RNG once more intervenes, but this time in the favour of Talos. Could actually happen here, could actually happen. Up north, the Sturmpanzer flying over the penal troopers. Penal troopers need to position, they're actually getting slightly flanked if they're not careful. Flak half tracking away there for Burmie. Both end up between their penal troopers waiting for the southern victory point as well. Burmie needs to hit back hardy against Talos soon. And Talos, in fact, is just moving straight onto the tank command, can rush out T-70 very fast. That's going to be a definite problem there for Burmie with only a single Kedna. For the flak half tank can sort of deal with the T-70 slightly, but it still needs support. They can't sort of threaten it lightly. Very lightly. Up north, their point being secured, back here reinforcement, and soon flak half track, they're done. We'll have the medics on the way next here for Burmie. And the south point there being secured, the penal troops advancing. So, Petrov, yes, what are you in here for? Accountancy. Oh, you sick bastard. Yes, people always tell me that. I don't know why. T-70 on the way there though for Talos Prime. A light tank that's going to give Burmie there some trouble for sure. Flak half tank moving up though. Going to engage those people very fast. There we go. Got an immediate retreat here. Talos knows better than to fool around with a flak half tank, which can do some heavy damage very fast if you're not careful. T-70 then almost down there for Talos Prime. Troops reinforcing. Back here we got healing reinforcement as well. So there we go, T-70 light tank arriving. Volks Grenadier moving in up north here again for blasting away at the sandbags, trying to clear the map. Rather inefficient method for doing, but it gets the job done eventually. There we go, T-70 rumbling away. Flank half track providing, I would say, rather poor coverage for the Sturmpaniers, and T-70 there opens up. Sturmpaniers in a really bad spot. And there we go, Burmie just sees retreat, immediately realises that is a really bad spot to be in. Puts back the flak half track, since that's also in a pretty bad spot. More engineers for Talos Prime, possibly from minesweepers, but I imagine also just to help the repairs down the road. Good timing for this. He's got some manpower to spare. MD-35 here for Burmie, good. It will help versus all of Talos' infantry, though I do think another Academy map should also be on the table here against the T-70, so he can sort of constrain its movements more, because the more freedom of movement he gives the T-70, the more damage Talos can just do unimpeded. So it's certainly something to be very mindful of. There we go, counterport here, laying down sandbags. Managed to finish it up, but the flak after that's going to tear it all apart in a matter of seconds. My apologies there. For some reason, after the Steam update, where they added some stuff there, at times it's just going to pop out my friends list while forcing me out what I'm doing for some reason. Like, I don't know why. I do not know why. Flak half track rounding him up. You got the pilgrims on the side. The church gonna face the wrath of the flak. Gets into it with the 2 centimeters of high explosive death. On the side, we got full explosive penal troopers next to cover. They quickly move out of it. Very good, but they are taking quite a bit of damage. Sergei stumbles over quite dead. The reft of life, and there you go. Managed to bait them out to the open, allowing the other penal squad to engage the full grenadiers. Nice turnaround here by Talos. Burmie did not see that one coming at all. Up north was going to be obliterated by the T-70 light tank. Oh, very close to a full white, but not quite. Talos, they're going for the support company. Might be planning a field gun, but also planning mortars and maxims to further control the field here against Burmie. When Burmie's about to have his southern field threatened here, where the penal troopers most likely need to move forces away. Their march being laid down. Schützenminen, and like Khodny on the move, finally to sort of try and deal with the T-70 back here. Healing enforcement going on. Neither side though have yet to commit to a doctrine against the other. There we go. Khodny shoots from underneath the roof. Pretty interesting position set out there, and lands a nice hit in the T-70. Moving a bit closer towards the centre, but the south is still quite exposed, and you will be flanked through here, or you can just go straight for the fuel point. Either way though, Talos Prime there basically buying time to flank here with the Strafniki. Trot on the way there for Burmie, that's going to destroy our panzered quarters, which is then going to be needed, and they're going to be before being rushed off the field here by the penal troopers. Got the flak half track moving down here to support the realising things about to get a bit hairy there if he does not stop this. Schnell. There you go, flank half to the rescue once more for the fatherland, and there you go, first shot, but they need to reload. Terrible timing there by Ludwig, the gunner. And finally pushing away the penalties there. Even just obliterated there by the high explosive round. Fulton sneaking northwards again, like Khodny over there, I think, firing off once more with something else getting broken. Hard to say at times. Fairly how much level moving up, going to like set it up around here. What's the Khodny? I'm not entirely sure what he's aiming to hit for there, but he's firing at the house next side. It does that if inside a building, it just begin firing whatever is near it, even if it's in order to only fire vehicles. Got the 63 on the way there for Talos, so it's close to worry about Burmie bringing out vehicles, so he might want to just want something and sort of shoot at the flak half track from farther away. But we got the Shroud Punted quarters up here, covering the fuel point, the calf point, and even to an extent up here as well. An aggressive setup, but if he does find himself under fire from field guns here, he could end up losing it pretty swiftly. And there's also theoretically the option of setting up field guns here and trying to shoot through the heteros that way. Though that does involve some risks, but it is a potential sort of option that Talos could consider. Sistilef arriving. Victory points wise, Talos has got the lead, but Burmie is slowly clawing away at that. This is the sort of spot where he really wants a machine gun or some also done with a light machine gun. I mean, the Fulton Grenadiers with assault rifles can sort of do some work here, but it's not going to be the most efficient line of work. Hits the mine, flak half track shoots a bit, few penetrating hits there, but Khodny was too far away to actually take out the T-70 light tank. Missing an opportunity, I think, for Burmie. He just finish off that bastard, which would allow him to play a lot more aggressively versus Talos if he doesn't have to worry about, you know, a tiny terror tank appearing out of bloody nowhere. And there you go, more shots fired, field gun moving up, need to pull back with that flak half track, pop smoke. But I think there's too much going on, there you go, but there's an attack round option here, Fulton going in, and there you go, flak half track down, like Khodny for down as well here. Rather poorly executed attack here by Burmie, definitely punished by Talos. Leaving poor Burmie there floundering now with barely any units. Comparatively. plus his losses and a tank gun, and another significant loss here for Burmie. Needs to reclaim that cannon before it's too late, and it might actually happen. He's going for orbital line, which is going to prove helpful, but he's going to need another Kholodny at the very least. At least he's quick to salvage the flak after that. There's something there. Go. Talos goes for Guard Motor, meaning T-45 is most likely guaranteed, plus the Guardsman will absolutely goes for any heavy mortar. He's gone for a regular one, so heavy one seems a bit less likely. And there you go. Got the orbital dart out. The LMG-34 on the way there for Burmie. Back here, a Kholodny for number 2 on the way there for Burmie. For Deutschland. Orbital moving ahead, the machine gun almost on units there. In a rather exposed position. They quickly move to the other side of the cover, realising that's a better place to be. For a few moments. Orbital on the light machine gun taking apart the penals with their foot. Going to be squad needs to retreat. The field gun is threatening to collapse the entire place on top of them. My God, it's a good thing we got out of here. Yeah, that place was definitely not up to building code. That's what you're worried about? Yeah, sloppy workmanship. Ach, my God, Ludwig. You need to have your priorities set straight. Anyways, nothing further going in there for Burmie. He's going to have some time from getting armor out. That's for Talos Prime. He can soon go for the T-45. That's going to be a real problem for Burmie, because Burmie here goes for fortifications. Definitely a very sensible response here. S-mines, but also pack for the fees and needs to deal with Talos' tanks. This will help us a nice stopgap there. Machine gun bunkers theoretically useful, and even the flak emplacement though. The flak emplacement still doesn't see a lot of usage. And we got another smoke screen here. Either already seeing or anticipating something in the church, he smokes it up to make it easier for him to move about. Could also, of course, signal to Burmie something's going to happen, then make him just move out there on reflex. There we go, bombarding the church there. High explosive rounds flying through the air and impacting upon the sides. There we go, church collapsed. More photos on the way there, more assault rifles with Burmie. Closing in the Panther 4, he could also try and aim for a Panther. I mean, versus the T-45, the Panther is going to be the better choice anyway, since the Panther 4 is going to be a lot more dependent on lightning, just heavily outmaneuering, as opposed to the Panther's just straight up superior to the T-45. So I mean, that definitely is something there for Burmie to consider here versus Talos' T-35s. I mean, of course, depends if he's expecting it, and how quickly Talos goes for the T-35 and pushes that out against Burmie. The Kholodny lands a nice hit, orbital covering up. In the south, though, we get a bigger push here from Talos. And the second Guardsman can have caught quickly outmaneuvering the machine gun. Basically, having the engineers draw the fire of it. Mine goes off there, nice spot there. It takes the attention of his opponent will do it. Very nice mine actually by Burmie. But on the other, the machine was too slow retreating and got wiped here by the penal troopers. A nice little haul there for Talos. We got orbital machine gun replacement machine later for Burmie. Closing in there on the Panther 4 possibly, though again could go for the Panther, and we got the T-45 on the way for Talos. And there you go, unit wiped here, engineers cut to ribbons. Now he tries to make pass with the rest of the engineer squad. And it's not looking good so far for the engineers. But they do manage in the end, Need to counter-attack here to deal with the penals with the Sturm parts, quickly get themselves focused down, which is definitely not something Burmie should be allowing willingly. T-35 almost done. Burmie here can go for the Panther 4, but we shall see if he goes for the Panther instead, perhaps sensing that something a bit bigger than the Panther 4 can handle is on the way. T-7 will move, and Kholodny has moved down there, and he's trying. He's doing what he's trying to bait in the T-70. But looks like Burmie's. Oh, Talos expecting it. No, he isn't. There we go. Close one here. Close one. T-70 almost down again, but is forced back here at least for some time. But T-45 is about to replace it. That's going to be a lot trickier there for Burmie. We're just going for the Panther 4. They will have to see if he cancels it in the face of the T-45. That's going to be my recommendation, but It could very well be that Burmie does not feel that is a viable solution. No, he cancels it, yeah. He's going to go for a Panther most likely. I mean, he could go for the Pack 43. He's going for another Kholodny Alpha, so it feels like he's definitely going to stall. He's lost another machine gun already here to Talos. That is definitely pretty bad here for Burmie. That is pretty bad. He needs to fall back with the troops here before they get murdered here by Talos' armoured fist of the motherland. As from the Nordland actually getting a Panther battalion, that was sort of more of a accidental thing. Essentially what happened at one point, they received a load of old Model D Panthers, which were supposed to dig in and use as Panther turrets, these sort of static Panther turrets. But as it turned out, they were actually able to get all the Panthers operational again and basically make their own Panther battalion. Which is definitely one of these, shall we say, rare occurrences, but it did happen. And they're actually able to take the Panthers with them all the way back to Berlin as well, at least some of them. So a little fun fact there. But yeah, Burmie here can go for the Panther now, the Panzerkampfwagen 5. There you go, I was about to say, I said 5, and then but there you go, here's goes for it before I have to repeat myself. Consequently, they're going straight into the Schwer Panzer quarters with its 30mm flak. T-Fed from Kholodny Ferma nearby. There we go, double Kholodny from the T-Fed power. That could be quite a problem here for Talos. Almost losing it, but there you go. Engineers flank from the south, ultimately to disrupt that and cover up the flank. Panther halfway down there for Burmie and for Deutschland. Engineers being cooked up slowly. Sturm Pioneers, Volkswagen, Obersoldaten moving ahead here. Could get a wipe with Engineers, could get a wipe, looking very likely, and oh, dead. Small wipe here against Talos again. Panther almost down there though for Burmie. Sturm Pioneers, Obersoldaten moving ahead here. Probably should lit with the Volkswagen since they can take more fire overall, allowing the more important units to just deal the damage. And the south machine gun push back. Here's the flank is exposed. Very good response there by Talos, and we got the Panther out here though for Burmie for the German army. Adding the pin-up machine gun there, all of a sudden on the fire, they need to retreat immediately before they get wiped. Would be quite costly for Burmie. And he's going for more Volksgrenadiers here. I mean, he could go for more Obersoldaten to be honest, but Volksgrenadiers are cheaper. We could also consider another Sturm Pioneer squad to repair his arm. In particular, his Panther would benefit a lot from being swiftly repaired. It means he can spend more time with it on the battlefield rather than just constantly putting it off. Panzerkampfwagen 5 mobilised for the German army though. Technically though, it's the Model A rather than the Model D. You can tell that on sort of the rear bits here where there's these sort of, I think, radiator pipes. Can't quite remember what they were. They're not quite exhaust, but basically just sort of help with that. They were specific to the Model A Panther, which was sort of the model between the D and the G. Little fun fact there. But there you go, pins will push back. The Panther's machine guns and main gun proved to be quite a nuisance. They're supported by the Sturmpioneer. Up north, we got Fultz dealing out with the penal troopers here at long range. Not looking good for the Fultz. We're going on the T-54 on the way for Talos. It's going to be quite a challenge for him to take out the Panther unless Burmie does something really dumb or he does something really clever. Since the Panther range is very much a superior due to better armour, penetration and range. Of course, Burmie has to remember that's where the Panther's good at and needs to keep it there. But a well-handled Panther is certainly dangerous in the game now, unlike a year ago. Panther moves up, shoots and misses the T-55. Quite a pleasant development there for Burmie. Continues to move ahead here, need to be careful. There we go, good hit on the T-55. T-55 shoots, misses, field gun bounces. Distance, Burmie, distance! Getting marked here, he's not keeping distance though. This is the exact sort of thing I warned about. Gotta keep distance with the Panther. Its armour becomes a lot less effective if the enemy is allowed to get close. And I think it even maybe lost a chance to get out any of the T-55s due to the fact he had to suddenly move a lot more awkwardly. So that could have been handled, I think, a lot better there by Burmie, but at least he didn't lose the Panther. And the Panther did gain a load of valuable experience, but to an extent so did the Russians. Kill them before they kill our panzers! And then we're toast if they kill our panzers. I don't like toast. It reminds me of North Africa. Why does toast remind you of North Africa? It's dry and it's hot I hate those things. Panther falling back there. Kholodny needs to be careful. Almost got the field gun there, almost got it. And there you go, popping a bomb grenade to finish it off. Nice work there by Burmie. He's certainly being a lot more threatening here now with the Panther and the Orbital working together in tandem. A surprisingly good unit combination, but I would recommend him another Orbital Laden squad. I mean, pair of Orbital Laden can lay down some serious firepower. Panther is being fixed up there. Troops reinforcing, healing here, preparing for the next big push for the German army. He goes for more full skirmishes and sadly not more Orbital Laden. I do feel like that's a wrong turn there by Burmie. Oh, there you go, cancels it. T-55 being fixed up there. Both having the crews join in as well. And of course, while fighting up infantry close to the Panthers, not bad. The machine guns really do a lot of damage. In fact, the Panthers machine guns have some of the best TPS of any tank machine guns in the game. I mean, of course, you need to be careful there's not any tanks around that can get close easily to it. So there you go, getting a few extra kills. Panther shoots away. And we got a field howitzer up here for Burmie, adding in some artillery. Again, this is where 2nd Stream Pioneers would help a bunch there for Burmie. Again, just assist with the Panther repairs. Machine gun there covering up here, making things more difficult for Burmie. His howitzer is halfway done. In the south victory point being attacked there by Talos Prime as Burmie's focused on the centre. We got a smoke screen down on Kholodny for a good spot. Panther moves forwards though, through the smoke goes up and misses the machine gun, but we got the T-55 moving in. Panther shoots and misses. Kholodny lands good here in the T-55 up north. The needs to be careful he doesn't get shot to bits. This is an easy target here for the Russian T-34. 85. Machine gun against the full skirmishes here, hammering away, but forced to retreat here, too exposed, too little health, and there you go, Kholodny never spotted. Panther get cleared up, he's going to move for the Panther. Oh, could take out the T-70 maybe. That's going to be a big hit here for Burmie, putting an end to that. If he can. Panther keeps missing. Panther keeps missing. But he's trying to shoot on the move. Well, the Panther is actually a very accurate tank in many senses, partly due to the optics, but also due to the sheer velocity of the gun, which, you know, based in short, the cells drop less. And it's not that accurate to just keep firing on the move as well, since most tanks during World War II were not exactly made for firing on the move, since they had no stabilizers and the likes. Panther, this veteran will need to fall back. Failed to get the T-70 though, bad luck there for Burmie. Mark vehicle again, need to fall back with the Panther before it gets swarmed, but he's clearly trying to remove the Kholodny over here from Talos' reach. Panther though sadly misses. As with us firing so far, not landing a single hit here for Talos. Units wiped out in the south group, but he needs to grab that point, and that is Schnell. And Talos they're beginning to replace losses with Guardsmen. Heavy anti-aircraft fire there against the aircraft moving about there, and then high above the skies, at least the ground. Penal troopers they're going for the southern munitions. Burmie needs to exert pressure more aggressively, and again I do feel like some Orbital Laden will have a bunch with that. And maybe a flak in place to hope the southern victory point will not be a bad idea there for Burmie either. Would really force Talos to commit a tank there, which means you could sort of bait it away from some of the anti-tank guns in the centre, and then, you know, rush them down with the Panther maybe. Like, there's a few possibilities then for Burmie to consider. He's also beginning to extend into the north again, very good. As for Talos, I do think he needs to consider attacking Burmie from some other angle rather than just head on, because the Panther's going to be pretty good there alongside the Kholodny Ferma. So I think the Talos goes through trying to launch a larger flank attack for the north or for the south, maybe in conjunction with the mortar laying down a smoke screen, just to further, you know, draw attention away from, say, maybe the flank actually, like, say, smoke screen here, and then he attacks from another angle, completely throwing off Burmie that way. Prime those keeping up here, good pressure, I think, though, versus Burmie otherwise. But he does need to be a bit careful here with some of the attacks he's committing to, particularly when there's Panthers around. Okay, we need to be careful here. Orbs are moving up, and there goes Sata charge off. It's going to be too late for Kholodny Ferma though. Blown to bits. Artillery raining down, and I think he's just blind firing into the base. Or he's trying to get rid of the mortar. I'm not entirely sure what's happening here, which of the versions it is. Almost got the penalty, but there's also the first kills of it. Yeah, I think he's trying to take out the mortar, he's just not having a lot of luck with it. Panther is halfway expected to Kevin taking out. There we go, good on the T-45. Prime needs to pull that one over before it becomes, well, a prime mover. Or worse. In fact, fun fact, the Germans actually used a bunch of captured T-34s where the turrets been knocked out as tractors, essentially. Or recovery vehicles. I've seen one that was converted to being an anti-aircraft tank by, I think, mounting a flak drilling. I've seen one I think had sort of improvised turret with a flak feeling on it. Howitzer's almost good to go again. Panther 4 away for Burmie this time around. I mean, double Panthers would lock down the T-35s harder, but the Panther 4 would of course be much better versus the infantry, though. You could just go from orbital down instead. Probably should have. That's just me. Penals there being shredded by the Panther, though. 10 kills, closing in on Veteran 2. There's going to be a bit of a challenge there for Talos. Once the Panther hits Veteran 2. Increased armor is going to make it a bit of a tougher nut to crack. After firing again. Sadly, Burmie's just not getting a lot of value out of it, it seems. Panther 4, they're arriving here for the German army. T-35 takes actually a hit from the howitzer and it's 105 explosive shells. Fun fact, during Operation Barbarossa, the 105mm howitzer was actually used as a anti-tank gun as well, alongside the 8mm or 88mm flak. It's not something that's talked about a lot, but it's actually happened. So a little fun note there. Got the Panther heading out there for Burmie, pin up machine on the way. Russian infantry trying to cross the road here against the Panthers, ultimately fall back due to the sheer ferocity here of Burmese Panzerwaffe. The victory points wise, Burmie's still bleeding out. They need to change up his tactics, I think, more aggressive. We need to try and outmaneuver here. And there you go, we can see Talos is raiding Burmie's base. He's going for the howitzer. The cheeky bastard. But the question is how much he's going to achieve here, though. Personally, into the flank emplacements, which quickly do a lot of damage there. He could very well end up losing the T-sim without, I think, doing too much damage. So it does have a response of pulling back the Panther towards the base, which, I mean, does have some small value there if he then attacks during that, but he doesn't, so it kind of ended up being a bit of a waste of the T-70, I think. I mean, it still didn't end up gaining him a lot of resource by killing a lot of stuff, but, I mean, in the end, he just threw it away like that, I feel. But he was probably just looking to wipe out some units on health. The problem was Burmie didn't have any there, so it just ended up being a bit in vain. And a bit of a waste. Panther 4 moving in the south. We've got the Pims making a big push. We've got the Sturm Pioneers forces ready to withstand them, but that's probably not enough. And there you go. Panther 1 from the T-45. Need to get the Panther up. Then we've got an extra farmer for Talos. Good choice here versus both the Panther 4 and the Panther, in particular the Panther. Panther shoots though and misses. So close to Veteran 2 that we got the hard to find way as well here. I think he's trying to take out the mortar again. By the looks of it anyways. Panther 4 there trying to be with a Strafniki. Mortar repositioning. Got the T-45 going for the Panther. Oh, the Panther 4 is going to eat the Panther down in support. Oh, I said T-45 is going to make very short work of the Panther 4 in those situations. And there you go, Panther gains Veteran 2 shots and added. Panther on the 5 for Kholodny and the Panther. Should have a chance at destroying it. There you go, Veteran 3 for Kholodny, but then he gets satchelled. He's going to lose it. Oh, 9. Kaput. Panther 4 down here, though. Bit of a loss here for Burmie. Too much going on there. Should have pulled back the Panther 4 faster than he did. Almost got the T-45. He's going to destroy the Panther 4 before losing his own tank there to deny Burmie the potential of getting the Panther 4 back in action. Good work there by Talos. He pretty much lost the T-45 anyway, so what he's going to do is deny Burmie more tanks. These tanks faster. But there you go, 13 kills in the Panther. Troops healing reinforcing. Howitzer there with 5 kills. Now it's getting slightly more kills, but overall the Howitzer's not been too efficient a choice there for Burmie. And you still need to do something about defending the southern victory point. I really feel like, I mean, S-mines is going to help, but a flanking placement would help a lot more, I think. Also need to grab the northern victory point. Destroying the Kingdom of the Night there to Talos. And the second guard's make a nice call. If you can hit it at point blank range. Jürgen, have you been as a Schnaps again? Nein, mein Führer. I'm not your Führer, I'm your Hauptmann, you idiot. You've been at the Schnaps again. Idiot. Fortunately, defending the northern victory point, a guard squad there. Panther taking a few hits. The halfway to virtually free. That is pretty good for Burmie to get it there. If. And there goes southern victory point open. There are the S-mines. If Talos isn't paying attention, which it looks like he is, and he can take some nasty damage. There you go. North there, forces being pushed back ever so slowly by the guardsmen before they finally are forced back off the field. Orbs on there being suppressed. Virtually free. Would be a shame here to lose them. Burmie needs to retreat schnell. He's losing control of the victory point. Rampantly got the Panther moving up, but the Orbs still need to go. And there you go. G5 lands a good hit on the Panther, penetrating its frontal armor. Another hit there as well. Mark V. Clark, in fact, needs to blitz that Panther out there. Good response there by Burmie. Almost losing the Panther there. That was really close there. Very, very close to the Tibetani fleet. He needs that Panther repaired schnell. And he might actually be considering another Panther. He could consider Yak Panther. I definitely think that Panther was a mistake here. And again, I do feel like Orbison would be great, but in this stage he might just have to consider flanking play to help defend some of the other far-flung points here from harassment. The problem is, again, his other Steel Empire squad's down. He's going to need the second Steel Empire squad. He should have gone for the second Steel Empire squad much sooner. So we got the hard to find way. He got 9 kills. He's definitely improving with it. He's definitely improving with it, but it's been a very slow improvement run, shall we say. Fighting among the wreckage of several tanks here. You could actually salvage that for extra fuel. That would not be a half bad idea. 55 points left versus Finland 60. So there you go. Finding some work on the Panther. And another T-55 on the way to replace the one Talos Prime lost. Very good. Panther passed off in the T-55. Halfway to veteran for you there as well. Very good, very good. Panther slowly being fixed up. Panther on the way again here for Burmie. I do think you should have gone for Yak Panther, another Panther. And she's just gone for Orbital Laden, to be honest. That's just me. Flanking placement here I would still think be a great choice. Maybe machine gun bunker instead. I mean, he's got the resources, he's got the abilities. He just needs to do something to make it, you know, a bit harder for Talos to run up to one of the victory points. So there you go. Another Panther work for Burmie for the 11th SS. Telefire raining down. We got the T-55 setting out here for Talos. Panther moving in there. Going ambush the T-55 shoots. Gets a good hit. S-mount being fired off. They're almost taken out in the process. Not the best handling of the Panther there. Should 5 moving in. Need to flank with the Panther 4 there most likely. Down to 51 versus 345. Panther falling back a bit. Needs to keep the front towards the enemy though. The enemy's not going to attack from the south, Burmie. You do not want to have a chance of exposing the rear to the enemy like that. Usually you got a pack for the few going up here for Burmie, rather late, but it can still have an impact there on Talos. Still need to turn the Panther about there though. There we go. Shoots, misses, takes a hit there from the 5. Need to get the Panther down to flank. Folks, the army's taken out by their own S-mine field. Not good, they're not good. And there you go, wipe quite a loss there for Burmie for the German army. 13 kills in the house, definitely good. Pack for the field is good to go. Panther moving up into the centre to deal with the troops there. But southern point is being exposed. Panther being pulled back for repairs again. Burmie situation is starting to look rather hazardous. There you go. Pack for the field, good to go. with its 88mm high velocity gun, same as using the King Tiger and Jack Panther. Fun fact, there we go, gaining veterans 1 Tifa almost taken out here by the Panzer by Kholodny Ferma. In the South Tifa getting the victory point, made down to 50 points here for Burmie. Starting to look a bit grim here, to put it very mildly. There we go, Kevin Fernandez got in the side arm of the Panther 4. Panther almost good to go. Need to set that one up, and we got the Howitzer firing away here again. Just firing blindly into the base. He's focusing too much on the centre victory point, not on the southern or the northern one. Pretty risky stuff here by Burmie, to be honest. Exposing his Panther sort of academy victory there. But there you go, gets a clear out. Need to grab the centre victory point fast. There you go, HQ5 moving in, shoots in the Panther, gets a good hit. Panther is very, very close to veteran free. So close, but it's now also close to death. And the Sturm Party is in a pretty terrible situation. Well, Pack 15 is about to deal with that threat. 27 points, there you go, lands the next hit on the HQ5. He's still moving, he's going to lose it, he's going to lose it. Maybe, no, gets away. No, gets it with the Pack 43 or something else. Oh, and then HQ5 is a smoking Hulk. A Scrappy's moving the Panther. Panther will find around the city to fall back in face of the T-45. Plus the Guard Squad is going to lose that Panther 4, he's going to lose it. 9! Burmie! 9! Meine schönes Panzer! Also need to fall back in the Panther falling back as well. They're heavily damaged, but it is veteran free now. It is veteran free. Out of there, closing very nicely into veteran 2 finally, but 9 points left here for Burmie. Mortar fire raining down. And a grenade off here. Pack 43 lands a good hit there on the T-45, veteran 2 by the way. But the T-45 escapes the wrath here, and the Orbison not going to get wiped up. I think Panther moving in here aggressively though. 17 kills for the German armor. Orbison went down, he's barely got any infantry left. Misses, Pack 43 lands a good hit, he's down to 2, and there you go, GG, game over, loss for Burmie, a loss for the 11th SS. A victory for the 2nd Guards Mechanized Corps, a brutal battle right here on Kholodny Ferma Winter. In the end, while Burmie had some good moves, I think strategically he just focused, I think, in part on the wrong infantry. But also got 2 focus in the centre south and didn't focus enough on north, and didn't focus enough in using his strengths on Talos, which rather revolved around manoeuvring and such, rather got stuck into a fight of attrition, which really only favoured Talos, in particular with the mortar and the likes there. And the Howitzer, I think, also took very too long time then to really get going there for Burmese. So those measures they would really just hand the Talos to fight there, so it went on for longer and longer. So, I mean, some nice moves. Then he did alright with the Panther, I would say, on the other hand, though there were certainly a few mistakes there. But at the same time, we just wish he played more aggressive and tried to outmaneuver Talos more. I mean, in that sense, Burmie just felt too much in the defence for long periods of time, which just made it much harder to really do anything as the match went on. He also should have gone for more orbital, and I think this really would have packed some punch for him, plus additional Sturm Pioneers to just keep the Panther fixed out as well. So there's some things that could have been made much more smoothly. So there you go. Hope you enjoyed this match. Hope you learned something from it. If you did, subscribe, like, share, comment on it. If you want to send a replay of your own, links in the video description. I can sort of find the details, we can send an email. Do provide, details around the leaderboard and such. And you can also find links where you can support the Propagandacast by donating or pledging on Patreon. Other helps me out a ton, allows me to keep doing these videos day after day. So if you do like what I do, consider donating or pledging. Other would help me out a ton. This is Pro Links and cheers. Thank you for watching. You're all a wonderful audience, and hope to see you all again tomorrow for another funny episode. Bye.